Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at a Haos Hydorous pack. This is the 3-pack for the, of course, Wave 1. This one is okay. I don't mind what's in it by the looks of it. It looks okay to me. The Haos Hydorous is actually a cool one since I do have a Pyrus Hydorous and we do now have, of course, the Diamond Hydorous if you guys haven't checked that out. But I did really want to get a Haos one since that would be a really cool addition to the set. And of course, since we are trying to get as many different Bakugan as possible, as reasonably as possible, it definitely helps when you can get those available. So getting these reasonably cheap. I have included a price in every video if you guys haven't paid attention to what I paid for them in Australian. I believe I got all of these at $15 before a 5% discount, which of course would bring it down again to around $14 per one. So that is how I have purchased all of these insane 3-packs, and they do make for a pretty interesting time and are a lot of fun to collect. And even if they are ending up being a little expensive once I work out exactly how much I've spent, it's not a not a crazy amount, but it is still pretty insane. Not as much as I was expecting it to cost though to collect as many as I have. Luckily for you guys, YouTube does pay some of this, which is good. So since I've been doing videos for a while, I've got a little bit of backlog. So the first one for this, which is one of the ones I was really after as well, this is why I get most of these 3-packs. They usually have at least one Bakugan I'm really interested in, and it was actually this Trox. This Trox, I've only got a Ventus Trox so far, and I would have really wanted to get the Aurelus Trox and stuff like that as well eventually, but for now, Aquos Trox looks good. 200B, 7 attack, shields, pretty okay. Then we have the Dark Fire card, which is a +8 for 4. That's pretty respectable, I think, or is it +9? Sorry, +9. Trying to read them from a distance here on black is not the easiest thing in the world. Then we, of course, have the Stoic Shot, sorry. Reading, not my forte today at all. Draw a card, Domination, draw 2. Very straightforward card. Now, for the Hydorous Ultra card, this is, of course, a double shield card with 200B and 4 attack. Pretty basic, but I believe the Evo actually makes up for that quite a bit, which is really cool. And we actually have Darkest Dragonoid, another one I was really interested in. This is why this one as well was one of the better sets to get, similar to the previous Mantinoid one. If you're interested in Bakugan that you can't really get many other ways, it is 400B and a 4 attack, which is pretty awesome. We also get a flip here, which is Exhilarate. It's draw a card. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. If you have the extra energy, not a bad flip, although definitely not the best. So the first shield here is going to be a -200B, a +600B magic, a +400 for Haos and Ventus in shield, a +100 shield, +6 fire first, and a -300B shield. So a lot of shield Bakugan in this one. Fortunately, the camera only chooses to focus when it wants to, not always the funnest thing when you're trying to show some of those cores off, but not the end of the world. So we'll take a look at this little Trox first. Trox is actually super adorable when you get him open, usually. He's actually got these little arms that do actually open up here manually when I can actually grab the hooky bits for him. There we go. So, little baby Trox. I think he's really cute. He's a bit bulky, of course. That's no surprise considering he is a Trox. Again, the camera just not wanting to focus on the little Bakugan there. There we go. So he's definitely a pretty cool looking Bakugan. The orange accents work really, really well on him. Even on his little claw bits there, the orange accents do give a really good indication of where they are. So folding him up is actually pretty easy. You literally just go for the legs and go for the head, and he kind of just rolls into himself as long as you line him up pretty reasonably. It's just getting that last bit in that can be a bit tricky, since typically you need to line the head up and that piece up before you close him up. Otherwise that can be a bit of a struggle there, but overall really cool. Having another Trox, pretty awesome. Then, next up, the Dragonoid. I'm not sure if this one is going to need the same repair that most of the others have. Unfortunately, I think it is. I mean, look at that. The horn sticks out miles too far. I've had to heat them up and change them around a few times to fix this, since it is literally just a tail malfunction. So the tail actually is meant to push forward, which, as you can see here when it does, puts the horn down. As soon as you kind of release it, it'll end up sticking out too much again, which is a little bit of a problem there. So, an easy fix, heat the tail, bend it a little bit. You gotta be very careful, of course, not to snap it. It's definitely the risky. This one doesn't show up very good on camera in this light, since it is 90% black with the purple accents on the back, although the purple does look gorgeous on this, which is great. and overall adding to my Dragonoid collection now. So we're going to have quite a few Dragonoids. We've got 2 Pyrus, I believe 2 Diamond now, and this Darkus, along with an Aurelus. So a lot of Darkus and Pyrus and everything going around now, especially for Dragonoid. All we'll need to get is the Ultras. I also always find I get their wings and legs to stick a little. Always a little bit irritating when you're trying to close them up, if you don't make sure they're forcibly closed. There we go, all clipped in, just so we can pop him back open again. Now for the main event here, we'll get this guy out of here. There we go. So we have the Hydorous. Hydorous Ultra in Haos. I actually don't mind Haos's color, but this guy's head I think always looks a bit iffy to me. The full-on blue head just really does throw me for a loop a lot of the time and makes it a little hard to really judge him without, of course, looking too much at him. And I just can't get this thing to, of course, give this guy the glory that he deserves, but it is definitely a okay looking Bakugan. A little bit of a pain to full on fold up, but nothing that a little bit of practice doesn't take. Sometimes I find the head springs in here can be a little iffy, and they really don't like to lock in place down properly when you fold up the legs, and the feet are a little annoying. So whoever designed this one, a little disappointed, because it would have been nicer if they folded up a little easier, but other than that, not really that bad. And as you can see, I've just jammed that in there because of course I did. There we go. You've really got to move that out of the way as much as you can before you bring these legs up, which is not a fun time indeed. So holding that in the back there, making sure that both the feet actually get tucked in here instead. There we go, got the feet in and all locked in the back there. Now you do have to still hold it because it won't stay 100% locked. And of course, as all Hydorous seem to, getting them to close up on one side, particularly this side for me, is always an issue. Diamond one's the same, except it's got more of an issue with its head. This one, on the other hand, just doesn't want to line it up, and that's always a disappointment for me, because I can never get them to go in properly. I don't feel like I'm doing anything too wrong here, it's just not, doesn't line up properly the way it should to tuck itself in. So not a fun time to get done up, that's for sure. It's always been one of the worst ones I've had to deal with trying to get folded up. I think it is just a design flaw on the actual Bakugan itself, not anything to do with attribute necessarily. I'm hoping maybe they'll reiterate these and make them a little better. There we go, that's kind of folded in, still not connected as well as it should though. And now this side actually goes in usually pretty well, but this time not so well. Alright, I'm going to have to move back here so I can get this all held together before we pop his head down, since it's definitely not the easiest thing in the world for me. I have found it's always Hydorous, it's never any of the other Bakugan, it's always the Hydorous design that I have trouble with. There we go, once you force its head in, it's not too bad to actually lock, but getting it to that point is definitely not the funnest time in the world, so at least when he does pop open, he's fairly awesome at least, so there's a bonus. If you guys did enjoy this video though, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. We're going to have one more lot of 3-packs from Wave 1. That is the last one for all the Wave 1 3-packs. I believe we also will have nearly done all the Wave 1 cores once we, of course, get the last couple of 3-packs and such. And there really won't be a lot left for these single sort of sets other than, of course, the 5-packs and the Ultras, which I may pick up a few here and there. Other than that, really it'll just be diamonds and any new sets, as there's really not a lot left to cover outside of card packs, which is something I do want to be able to focus on a little bit more. So if you guys did enjoy it, hit the like button, subscribe. Till next time guys, see ya.